Are you serious? Are you serious, folks? There's been an unbelievable, terrible situation. While even though we have the plane being shot down over Ukraine, even though we have ISIS murdering Christians and forcing 500,000 Christians to flee or die the city of Mosul in Iraq by the radical Islamic group called Islamic State or ISIS. We also have, and even though we have the 500 people have now died in Gaza City as the war between Israel and Hamas rages on. We also had over 100 people killed between the Philippines and China due to a typhoon, Typhoon Rammasun. Kills more than 100. This was the strongest typhoon to hit southern China in 4 decades. Yesterday, which would have been Sunday, July the 20th, 2014. It killed at least 16 people, and that number may rise in the region after leaving scores dead in the Philippines. Actually killed 94 in the Philippines. So it was strong winds, rain from the super typhoon Rammasun. It hit dozens of southern coastal cities in the provinces and in several regions, affecting more than 3 million people in the nation of China. This most powerful storm made landfall Sunday afternoon in China, but also had already hit in the Philippines, killing 94 people and displacing 500,000 people, according to the Philippines country's National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council. Most of the victims died after being hit by fallen trees or collapsed structures or by flying debris. Others drowned and were also killed in mudslides. A horrific scene, a horrible situation. The typhoon is known locally as Glenda, made landfall on the country's east coast in the Philippines Tuesday and Wednesday. So again, Typhoon Rammasun kills 94 in the Philippines, 16 in China, and it may be higher, and affects as far as Vietnam and all the way to Hong Kong were affected by the rains and the winds. Certainly a terrible thing taking place, but the Bible, when I think of the scriptures, especially Luke chapter 21 verse 25, Jesus said there will be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, distress of nations with perplexity or confusion, and the sea and the waves roaring. These would be signs of the end times, and certainly we are living in the last days. We've had our first of 4 blood moons of this 4 blood moon tetrad, which fall on 4 high Jewish feast days. Certainly, each time that there's been a 4 blood moon tetrad that lands on 4 Jewish feast days, there's always been a tremendous amount of trauma and usually war and or a slaughter of many, many Jewish people, and especially affects the nation of Israel. But also we're seeing that there is all kinds of wars breaking out everywhere and sudden destruction. You remember John Kerry and his 9-month push for peace under the Obama administration. It failed, but they were saying peace and safety, but then sudden destruction. And that's not just only war breaks out, but sudden destruction. We're seeing it in storms, in typhoons, in earthquakes. We're seeing it in wars in Ukraine, civilians getting shot down on planes, all kinds of chaos taking place. Typhoon Rammasun. I'll be back with more current world events, how they relate to Bible prophecy. and the powerful Word of God. Please, give your life to Jesus Christ. We're living in the last days. Are you saved?